What's up, everybody? It is Ebontis here. We did one read through the TWAB already, but as it got a little long-winded and there were a couple discussion points in there, I'm going to go through the high points of the TWAB with you guys. This is for January 20th. As you can tell, Blue Engrams are addressed, kind of, and we'll kind of talk about that as we go. But basically, this week they said they're going to be talking about power levels, blue drops, gunsmith reputation, some shifts to exotic sources, which is just like 2 guns. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about Vanguard reputation, Gambit rework, which we'll see how big that actually is, weapon crafting, that's the big one. I don't think anybody can, that one can't get here soon enough, and Void 3.0. I'm actually very intrigued about Void 3.0 to see how we're going to like earn back our aspects and catalyst and how all that's going to work. Don't know the order that they're going to drop. Weapon crafting will probably take the longest because it's going to be one of the biggest changes. But there's going to be, you know, additional tuning for weapon details and sandbox and other things. So we've got some big TWABs coming up. So if you guys aren't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. There will be more videos coming. Also, we will be talking about all of these changes tonight on the Last Word podcast on my YouTube channel right here. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you don't catch it live, you can definitely find the live recording afterwards. But there have been a couple little teasers on Twitter, so go check those out. I'm not going to play any videos on here, so don't worry about that. First thing is going to be power. If you guys haven't done leveling in Destiny before or never heard the references, floor is basically the lowest anything can be, which now we know what that's going to be. Soft cap is as you're leveling up, any drop will help you up until this point. At this point, powerful gear drops are now the best way to gain power. When you hit the power cap, that's when you're using powerful gear to level up. Once you hit the power cap, you can only get pinnacles. And then when you're at the hard cap or pinnacle cap, that is the highest your gear score is going to be for that certain season. It's basically what those are. They said the power floor is going to be 1350. So every character, piece of armor, everything in the game is going to be 1350 or higher, outside of like masquerade masks or something. But 1350 is going to be the minimum for basically every character and every piece of gear in your vault. The soft cap is going to be 1500, so 150 power levels for all of us to grind through by doing literally anything. And then, once it's 1500, the power cap, so your powerful gear, the next 50 levels are going to be 1550. And then, if you're trying to get from 1550 to 1560, that's going to be your end-game stuff that you'll have to do. I will do a full leveling guide when Witch Queen comes out, because there's always people who watch those things, a lot more than you would imagine, actually. So once we have all the information of what the new Pinnacle sources are, what the powerful sources are, all of that stuff, I'll make it one just lump video for you guys. So look for that one coming soon. They said there will be adjustments to Pinnacle and powerful sources. Mostly just the fact that a lot of sources of seasonal activity is leaving. We're going to have new stuff coming in, so just going to have to get things updated. I don't expect drastic reworks to like tower bounties and, you know, your 3 playlist activities. That stuff will probably stay, but it's more related to what is currently active in the season. So designing economy isn't easy. This is related to blues. So beginning in the Witch Queen, blue, all the blue stuff that you get spammed with, will stop dropping from playlist activities once players have reached the soft cap. So once you reach 1500 power level in Witch Queen, and you're playing things like Crucible, Iron Banner, Strikes, hopefully Nightfalls, Gambit, basically anything where it's a playlist that you can stay in and keep playing, and that's where the blues get to be the most annoying, it will no longer drop blues. So hopefully you're not going to get like 4 blues at the end of a Nightfall and push, you know, your stack of prisms or whatever out of your postmaster if you stack that many. But that's the idea. Now, is it everywhere? No. Blue weapons and armor will continue to drop from enemies and chests while playing Destiny 2, but we hope that this will reduce the need for players to manage their inventories and reduce the frequency of visits to the postmaster while running playlist activities is the key. So if you are, like, this is kind of one of those things where it's like a half step, in my opinion. You guys can let me know your thoughts. There are certain things where, like, new players may need blues for certain pieces here and there, but there's a point where none of us need blues, and I wish there was just a switch, a button, something you could opt into to turn them off for a season, because after a while, it's like, I would just rather get, like, 1 legendary shard for a blue and never think about it again at a certain point, because most of us don't need them. So I wish we got something like that, so it's not like the complete step, but your playlist activities that you can live in for a little while, you won't be overflowing with blues. So it's partway there, but it's just not complete in my opinion. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe it's a technical limitation. I don't know. And maybe there's a new player part of the process that I'm not thinking of. There could be those things as well. But overall, playlist activities should be lighter in blues. Like when you run Iron Banner, you're not going to get 4 blues at the end, which is good. But if you run a raid and you're getting blues to drop, that does seem a little useless in my opinion, personally. Well, they said blue gear helps players increase their power level in early game. We want to look at their place in the overall game. We aren't expecting any major changes in the next few seasons, so probably nothing, honestly, during the year of Witch Queen. But maybe blues are going to have a reason in Nightfall? I have no idea what to think of that. I'm probably going to forget about that for now, because I cannot imagine how they would make blues worth your time, but what are you going to do? Anyway, that's not anything we can really worry too much about right now. Gunsmith reputation. Gunsmith is going to get a reputation rework the way some of the other vendors have, where it's just reputation. They are going to basically get rid of Gunsmith reputation, they're going to get rid of the Gunsmith materials, and weapon telemetries. Both are gone, which means you can spend them happily now, and good luck on getting a god roll. There's like 50 different weapons in there. If you get one good thing, post it to me on Twitter, because I'm curious if anybody dumps their entire Gunsmith materials and get nothing, or if they dump their Gunsmith materials and actually get something good. Good luck, though, to all of you, because that can take a while. Throw on a Netflix season, depending on how many you've got. Players will now earn a reputation rank by dismantling legendary and exotic weapons. I don't know how often you dismantle an exotic weapon, but legendaries is probably going to happen. And armor, or by completing daily Gunsmith bounties. So doing your bounties will get reputation, which is not a bad thing. But overall, because I don't think the other vendors actually work that way. You don't get reputation. Do you get reputation in Vanguard by completing bounties? I don't know if you specifically do. I think it's more XP. So that will be a slightly different thing, because his Gunsmith bounties are going to serve a different purpose. So yeah, spend all your Gunsmith materials and telemetries before February 22nd, because they will be removed automatically. Don't hold on to them for any reason. Spend them all. Mod components will also be removed from the game, so you will not actually be earning mod components from daily Gunsmith bounties. That will change. Starting in the Witch Queen, weapon and armor mods sold by Ada 1 and Banshee will no longer require mod components and just cost 10,000 Glimmer. That's a good change. No need to grind out mod components to try to get mods. If you got Glimmer, you're going to be able to get some mods, and each of the vendors are actually going to hold 4 mods instead of 2, so hopefully you're going to have a quicker, run through of trying to build out your full list of mods. Now, if you're missing a lot of them, yeah, you're still probably going to spend a decent amount of Glimmer. If you're missing 1 or 2, hopefully the 4 makes it easier for you to get those. That being said, I think that's the major change, because they're making a couple others as well. Rahul, he's going to be taking over all the currency exchange. Spider is gone. Tangled Shore is out of here. So we know Master Rahul is actually going to be taking over the currency exchange of planetary materials and things of that nature. He also will be picking some of the wares that Banshee and Ada 1 once offered. Specifically, he is going to be in charge of selling enhancement prisms and ascendant shards. As noted above, this makes space for more mods to be available during a given week. So now Rahul has the prisms and shards, because both of those vendors had them, so they're consolidating it to him. And then Banshee and Ada now sell more mods, which is not a bad thing. Costs will still be the same as they are now, just random planetary material, 50,000 Glimmer and prisms or cores. That's not changing. Final note before we move on, some exotic news. Master Rahul will be able to decrypt Umbral Engrams. Your basic Umbral Engrams, if you want them in the giant pool of Umbral Engrams, you can take them to him. If you want to focus them, for individual seasons, you will do it at the seasonal vendor, which those are going to be in the helm. So the Prismatic Recaster and the Umbral Decoder actual thing in the floor, I guess it's in the floor, in the helm, that's supposed to be going away. The war table, I think, will be there probably for quest purposes, but that's going away. So now, normal Umbrals, if you just want a random roll, take it to Rahul. If you want a seasonal focus, you're going to be taking that to the vendor in the helm. Next thing is going to be Hawkmoon and Dead Man's Tale. As of February 22nd, both missions will no longer be accessible. So what they're going to do, they're actually going to make these 2 weapons because they wanted a way to have people have access to the random rolls. So they're going to put these 2 weapons as part of Xur's inventory. Now, let me clarify. You can, once a week, every week, Xur will offer a unique roll, so a random roll, for both Hawkmoon and Dead Man's Tale. And it will be purchasable for all players that own Beyond Light for the following materials: 1 Ascendant Shard, 1 Exotic Cipher, 125,000 Glimmer, 200 shards. It's not going to be cheap to get these, so my advice is, as you still have 5 weeks as of this video, that you run these missions as many times as you can to get a few more rolls. Because if you get a decent roll now, you're not going to have to spend a golf ball, a cipher, and a chunk of materials just to try and get a roll. Now, if the god roll comes through Xur, Like everybody's like, this is the one. It is the be all end all hallelujah roll. Everybody's probably going to go tell you to go buy one. But if you have a decent one close enough, and maybe you don't want to part with your Ascendant Shard and you're like, it's fine, but I don't need another one, then you'll be good. So you got 5 weeks. Try and run this mission as much as you can right now. And that will at least get you some decent rolls. So hopefully you don't have to spend this much in the future. But that being said, both the weapon and the catalyst, they actually touch down here, will be available in Witch Queen. So they did at least plan ahead, and they will be in the game. Hawkmoon, Deadman's Tale, and Agger's Scepter Catalyst will be moved to the playlist activities. Strikes, Crucible, Gambit is where you're going to be getting them from. They also put a couple other catalysts in the game, Outbreak Perfected, Whisper the Worm, and Fourth Horseman. These two have been out of the game for, like, I swear 18 months or more since sunsetting happened, and the pyramid ships took everything over. Yeah, pretty much that's kind of, those haven't been in the game in a while. So finally you'll be able to get these catalysts again. Seems from all playlist activities is where they're coming from. The raid is going to be launching March 5th, 2022, 10 a.m. Pacific. It should be 1 hour after daily reset. If you need the Eastern time, it's 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can do your translations from there. And it is March 5th, so it is that 10 days after just as many of us expected. So March 5th, 10 a.m. Pacific time is when the raid will go live. We don't know the level of the raid yet. Maybe they'll tell us that closer. They'll have additional details on contest mode, rewards, and other need-to-know information. For now, you can put in your time off requests and plan when you're going to be playing the game. Pretty straightforward. One thing to note, known issue in Dares of Eternity, the game streak now only gives a max of 125 points per completion. So just be aware that the streak bonus is kind of kneecapped right now, which is a little annoying. So if you do notice that, it's a thing. If you're grinding it out, it's just going to be a little slower right now. There's a lot of movies and artists in here, so very cool stuff. Always give them their love. Final thing, quick clarification. Iron Banner bounties will not, I repeat, will not be removed at the end of the season. Bounties acquired and completed any point during the season will be retained after Witch Queen. Bounties retained from the Season of Lost will be capped at 1350. So you're not going to get higher power gear, but you do have a chance to get new Iron Banner gear. And to make another clarification, our final Iron Banner of the season will be during the final week of the season. So if you haven't stored up your Iron Banner bounties and you're interested in doing that at all, you have one more chance to do so during that final week. So if you're looking to prepare a little bit more, then you got a little bit of Iron Banner if you didn't save them this time. Seasonal bounties, they're gone. Anything related to Tangled Shore, they're gone. Some daily bounties from general activities or destinations may be removed depending on objective or reward. So like a handful of Drifter and Gunsmith bounties are being looked at alongside some vendor reworks. So basically, yeah, did they say Drifter is getting a pass? Yeah. Gambit's going to be changing. It seems like we just don't know when that's all going to drop. Rule of thumb, if you do want to lose your rewards, we highly recommend that you turn in your bounties before a new year of content. While some of you are looking to rank up your artifact a bit faster than others, which is the main purpose behind bounty hoarding, which I've told you guys in that Witch Queen prep video, we expect many of your mod unlocks to come from completing the campaign and jumping into quests. As I've said in the Witch Queen video, you have no need really to do the bounty prep. If you're trying to get ahead of the game, get your seasonal artifact bonus a little higher, unlock the mods a little bit quicker, that is up to you if you want a bounty prep. It is totally your choice. But again, for me, being a content creator, I'm just trying to get ahead of things as much as I can. That is basically the TWAB. Blues is a bit of a half step. Most things are generally good, but my advice is try and get Hawkmoon, try and get Deadman's Tale runs in while it's still just completing a mission, not spending expensive currencies. Other than that, Iron Banner bounties, you got one more chance at it the final week of the season, and they will stay, so you can see what maybe some of the new gear is. Other than that, that is everything for the TWAB this week. If you guys enjoyed this one, drop a like below. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis. On Twitch, where I recorded this live, it is also Ebontis. And then if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, drop a like, leave a comment if you want to say hello, subscribe to the channel, hit that alert bell if you haven't yet so you see my future videos. And if you want to support me directly, you can join the channel as a member. Use code Ebontis at AdvancedGG for 10% off, and you can find my Patreon down below. Have a good one. See you soon.